There are 12 wood types in Minecraft, but which one's the best? Well, I actually made a list of which ones are the best and also asked 9 of my friends to rank them from best to worst. And I've got a list. And now it's time to just place them in order and do something with it. And this is the list, from worst to the best. Now let's go through all the ratings and see what grades they get and also what's their average. Coming in at 12th place is Crimson, which got an average of 10.3, with the scores being 11th, 12th, 8th, 11th, 8th, 10th, 11th, 11th, 9th, and then 12th. The last one being my rating. Next one we have Acacia with an average of 10.2. Again, the rankings are quite interesting though. We got 12th, 7th, 12th, 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 10th, 5th, 12th, and my personal ranking an 8th. It's so surprising that we got the average of 10.2, this one the average of 10.3, barely even scratching the 11th place, but 11th place is Acacia. And for 10th place also there's one ring trader, hello. 10th place we have Jungle, which got an average of 7.9, so quite a big jump, and the scores are 8th, 6th, 11th, 10th, 9th, 11th, 8th, 3rd, 8th, and my personal ranking a 5. So let's move on to 9th place, which is Bamboo with the average of 7.7. The scores being 5th, 11th, 10th, 6th, 6th, 4th, 6th, 6th, 12th, and 11th. 11 being my ranking. I personally hate this vlog a lot. Next one we have Warped with the average of 7.3, with the scores being 9th, 2nd, 7th, 4th, 11th, 6th, 4th, 10th, 10th, and my personal ranking a 10 again. Next up we have Cherry, which I was expecting to be a lot higher, even though I placed it really low myself, but the average was just a 7.1, with the scores being 10th, 10th, 6th, 7, 7, 7, 5, 9, 1st, and then 9th being my personal ranking. Next one we have Perch, which I was expecting to be a lot lower, even though I placed it higher in my list as well. Perch has the average of 6.3, with the scores being 6th, 9th, 1st, 2nd, 10th, 9th, 9th, 8th, 3rd, and my personal ranking a 6. Moving on to the 5th place, we just came out of nowhere and destroyed all of those blocks. Pale Oak, with the average of 5.3, quite a jump from the Birch, having the scores 2nd, 8th, 4th, 9th, 2nd, 1st, and then 4 7s, one of them also being mine. I personally like this block a lot, especially the log, but I haven't actually used it that much to really bring it forward, because let's be honest, these are a lot better than this one. But moving on to 4th place, it's the OG, the one and only Oak, having an average of 5.3, barely even scratching the 4th place, with the scores being 7th, 5th, 9th, 1st, 4th, 8th, 2nd, 3rd, 11th, for some reason, and my personal ranking a 3rd. Let's move on to 3rd place, which is Mangrove, with an average of 4.4. The scores being quite interesting: 4th, 4th, 2nd, 5th, 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 6th, 4th, 5th, and my personal ranking a 4. Let's move on to Oak, Dark Oak, which is the 2nd place, and quite interesting how it got 2nd place after you hear all the results. An average of 4.1, the scores, well, 3rd, 5th, 8th, 1st, great, 3rd, 2nd, 12th, 4th, and then my personal ranking a 2nd. And, well, 1st place, which undoubtedly is probably one of the best logs, if you know how to use it. It just dominated the chart. It got a ranking I mean an average of 1.7. Yes, the biggest jump from this one to this one, with the scores being first, first, third, third, second, second, first, first, second, and my personal ranking first. Obviously, this is very subjective, and even if I ask 9 of my friends to rank them alongside mine, you might have different preferences when it comes to these blocks. So yeah, it's just all an experiment. What am I going to do with this? Why did I make this list? What's the point of everything? What's the point of life? Why are we living? Sorry. What I'm going to do now that I've gathered all of these logs and made the list, I'm actually going to try to build a house using all of these wood types, going from the best to the list, and to see exactly if this list is true or is actually wrong. So let's start with spruce. Now, I'm not going to build something too crazy out of it, and I'm obviously allowed to use other blocks other than just spruce, because then the challenge would definitely be who's the winner, like who's the best looking wood. But no, the challenge is which one you can work with the best, which one goes well with most of other blocks. And I'm not allowed to use other wood types. Let's make it 3 blocks wide again. Quite like it. Let's actually do a genuine transition now. And I'm thinking of something like this. Look at that. That's actually really cool. And 5 blocks high, because we're just like that. There we go. We can add a window here with a door. Let's also make the other side, the other walls, because we don't... Look at that. This actually doesn't look too bad. Like this. Look at that. And now we can increase the height of this by adding more logs. And just adding the trapdoors already makes this look 10 times better. I really struggled a lot to build a roof, because I didn't know what to do with it, but I think this is actually working out. Okay, there we go. Let's add more things. Right here, let's make a path. We don't want to overrest. Let's also make a flower bed here, actually. Like this. And let's get some rows. Place them here and here. Can I? Oh, my bad. There we go. And let's just get a normal poppy and place it right here. Now at this point I was just spending so much time on one build that I thought just building everything and showing it to you, showing the process was such a big thing. So instead I'm just going to show you some time lapses of all of the builds that I've done, and then we are going to comment it at the end to see exactly which wood type was the best and which one was the best to work with. And with that, all of the 12 builds are done. As you can see right here, I made a build for every wood type, and there are they ranked from gold, iron, bronze, and then from 4th all the way to 12th. Now I actually love this project so much. Let's go through all of the buildings and show you exactly how well they incorporate in like many styles and many builds and many blocks. For example, this is the spruce build, which I've already made and built alongside you. This is the dark oak one. This is the acacia build. Now, to be honest, since acacia is second to last, as you can see right here, I actually got kind of tired. I mean, after building for like so much time, all of these builds, it's actually really overwhelming, and I actually did indeed get a bit tired and decided I'm going to do something a lot smaller for acacia. Now the reason why I like acacia a lot, and the reason why I actually placed it a lot higher on my list, is mainly because of this block, the unstripped log, that looks so well. It's so cool, you can incorporate it so well in like terraforming and stuff. I don't necessarily like, you know, the normal look of the acacia, no planks and stripped version. I mean, the stripped version is really cool. I usually like all the stripped versions actually, but yeah, it's really hard to work with unless you're making like a Mesa inspired base. You're not really going to be able to really use this block other than just, you know, giving a bit of details. So you can't really use this block as a massive like as your main block in your build, which is why it's really hard to work with. Then we have the oak build, which is probably the one that has the most amount of its, you know, block in it. Everything is oak here other than these few bits, which are, you know, pack mud and mushroom. We've got some tough node blocks, which are actually made of wood, so you can actually count them. Windows obviously, and then the terracotta. So mostly like 90% of this build is only oak, and it's crazy to look at it and see the amount of details added into one singular block palette. It's crazy, but I like it. Then we have the cherry build, which I did say I'm going to make pink, and I made pink. Look at that. I really like it so much. Did I forget? I did forget to put a window here. Oops. My bad. There we go. I really like it so much. It's not really a lot of cherry. That's why I also added some of these trees and some of these leaves. Because, you know, working with just one pink color is really hard. As you can see, the roof is made out of a bunch of different pink blocks. And the walls are mainly calcite. It's only, you know, some of the pillars that are made out of cherry, and also this fence in the front and all around the base of this. But I still really like it. I like this thing, incorporating black with pink and white. It looks pretty cool. I love it. Now for the pale oak, I really don't know what to do with it, to be honest. I was going for like sort of a castle, or like a smaller one. I don't think I like it. Annoyingly, I quite hate it. It still looks cool, yes. Maybe it's just out of place in this sort of environment. Maybe if I were to build it in a, you know, pale oak biome, then this would have not looked so bad. But I still like it. I did incorporate some like pink windows, which I think were such a nice detail. But mainly it's just pale oak and nothing else. Still, it's as much as I can do. I don't really work with pale oak that much. It's a new block to me and to everybody else, so yeah, bear with me. Then we have birch, which this build I've actually made once. I mean, a similar version to this one, where instead of using birch for this, I actually used oak. and it was not finished because it only had 2 walls. It was mainly just an experiment to see exactly how the block palette works, and I feel like this is one of my favorite block palettes, with these few blocks right here in this exact order. I mean, just look at it. Look at that. That looks so cool. It's amazing. I love it so much. Yeah, this is the birch build. Obviously, I did use other blocks like this tough part here. And obviously, there's no interior. Like none of my builds, because there's no point in building an interior when we're just working with the outside. I've added some roses because I thought it was pretty cool. You know, add a bit of red into the lots of yellowy sandish colors. I also added some poppies and some pots on all windows actually, but I still like it. This is the word build, which I actually quite enjoyed building, and to be honest, this might be one of my favorite builds that I've actually made. It's not the best looking one. I think if I were to make it at a bigger scale, it would look like 10 times better. For now, this is amazing. I didn't know that you can actually use, you know, the warped block in such a cool way. I did look for some inspiration, obviously, only for this build, because I genuinely did not know what to do, and I saw using this, and I decided to do something similar, and oh goodness, it looks amazing. Then we have the bamboo build, which I generally, again, did not know what to do. I was also really tired. This is like almost second to last. That's, I mean, almost third to last. It's fourth to last. This is third to last, which is this build, which I put a lot of more effort into. But genuinely, bamboo is such a niche block to work with. You can barely even incorporate it in anything. The color is really interesting, and the texture as well. Oops, did not mention that. But building with it, it's so hard. You don't really know what build to make. Usually when you think of bamboo, you think of like small huts that are like all inside of a small village in a jungle. That's why I also added some bamboo growing around. They don't mean to break that. I keep clicking for no reason. But it's the best I can do. I did add it on some sort of a platform which you can crawl under for some reason. But this is the best I could do. Bear with me, it's really hard to work with some of these wood types. That's why I made this tile list and this ranking. Then we have possibly my favorite build out of all of them, if you don't include, you know, this thing and this thing. Although these three are like top 3, I would say the spruce. There we go. It's really cool, but I've used spruce so much that I kind of got bored of it, and I don't see that an amazing build. Maybe if I were to like start building a whole village with this would look amazing, and I know it would. But like here, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but like I'm so used to it, I genuinely don't know what else to say about it. So again, this might be one of my favorite builds of today because it looks amazing. I did make this sort of platform where the house is standing. If I were to actually make this into an actual base, I would probably add the basement, as it's a big space right here. So obviously it should not go to waste. I love the bricks. They go so well with, you know, the jungle block and these blocks. Again, the same palette that I used to this thing and to this thing. I just like this palette of mushroom blocks, packed mud and mud bricks. They just look amazing. And look at this one as well. Going from terracotta to jungle planks, mud bricks, back mud, and then mushroom block again, the brown mushroom block. It's amazing. And also the moss as the rooftop. Goodness me, it's the best. My idea initially was just to rank this and then discuss the topic of it, but then Bamdam came in and gave me the idea to build a house with the least, like the block that got the least amount of votes. And I thought, okay, that's interesting, but kind of boring because it's really short. So what if I just made a build for every single type? Oh my goodness, I gave myself work for no reason. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. And also, since this challenge is so cool, I challenge you to make a build out of your least favorite wood type and send it to my Discord, which is linked in the description. Go on, I know you want to join. And also, I'll just challenge some of my friends to this challenge as well. So, let's see. Let's get Bamdam involved, because he gave me the idea. Let's also get Angsty, why not? I want to see what Angsty can do. Fraser is an amazing builder, let's get him as well. And everyone who wants to participate actually. Silbul, amazing. Generally everyone. So yeah, try this challenge, give me a feedback, it's amazing, I love it. That's all for today. We'll see you in the next one.